What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading for the year 2021. So I'm going to start this video by doing a general forecast for the collective energy that I see coming for 2021. And then we're going to go individually into 4 different piles and see what 2021 holds for you specifically. So what I'm feeling for 2021 is that throughout the year, there's this emphasis on building. It seems that whatever passions were discovered in 2020 are now being built upon into a solid foundation for 2021. I see a lot of abundance coming through, building abundance for ourselves based on the passions that we've discovered, like I said, in 2020. So what I'm seeing is that this is going to show up in mainly 2 areas in people's lives: in love and in career. I see a lot of emphasis on meeting soulmates as well as following passion projects and passion careers. There is still some conflict at the beginning of the year in regards to health, immunity, these subjects. A lot of discussions, a lot of ideas being passed around. But what I am seeing is that beyond all of the arguments or idea discussion, there is great happiness that is achieved and immunity is achieved in 2021. Generally speaking, 2021 is going to be a year of great passion. I'm seeing this in 2 ways. I see passion as far as it's expressed in anger, in arguments, in ideas, in new thoughts, as well as high amounts of communication, a lot of communication with other people, a lot of communication throughout the world. What I am seeing also is that there's a heavy emphasis of surrender, leaving behind thoughts and ways of being that no longer serve us as a collective. A heavy emphasis in 2021 is going to be in the idea of aligning with soulmates. And this can look very different for people. In some ways, it's going to be a partnership. For other people, maybe it's a child, giving birth, getting pregnant. Other people, it's going to be emphasized in career. And for some of us, it will be all 3 of those areas. There are 2 months out of the year that seem to be having the most influence or a high impact for 2021, and that is May and July. There will be heavy emphasis on those 2 months for 2021. May being sort of a point of no return, and July being the time period where us as individuals really start to see the physicality and the grounding of the meeting of soulmates. So I think that starting in July, moving throughout the end of the year, is going to be when we see as individuals the births happen, the pregnancies happen, the career changes and the career advancements happen, as well as discovering our passions and being able to act on them fully. In the beginning of the year, what I'm seeing is that there is a massive emphasis on completion. We have completed a very large cycle as a collective. We did see a lot of this in December 2020 when we were having the major Saturn-Jupiter conjunction. That did, in a lot of people's minds, mark a massive turning point in the collective mindset as far as what we're leaving behind and what we are now moving into. There is a lot of growth emphasized in the beginning of 2021. This is January, February, March, where we will be seeing a lot of self-exploration happen and a lot of completion of cycles that haven't tied up completely in 2020. But collectively speaking, we begin again. I am seeing that on one end, there is, like I said, some conflict that still occurs in the beginning of 2021. This may last well into the first quarter, so like I said, through March. This could have to do with health discussions. This could have to do with political discussions. But what I am seeing is that there is a fresh start that's being handed to us. While there may be some conflict surrounding it, generally speaking, this will be the beginning of a new journey for the collective. A lot of changes will be happening, but there is protection and safe journeying within these new paths that we will be taking. As we enter the second part of 2021, collectively speaking, this would be April, May, and June. What I am seeing is that there seems to be a healing that's occurring. This is when I see a little bit of anger or passion really being explored by the collective. Yet within that anger, we also experience the healing of the anger. So it may come up to the surface to be dealt with, but what I'm seeing is that this is a healing time for the collective. It seems that this is a bit of a polarity within this time of the year, where we will be challenged within our extreme emotions to really learn how to find stillness within motion. I do see a lot of the wind element coming through, as well as the fire element. This is a lot of communication, but this does emphasize harmony as well as seeking nectar, the flowers of life, the honey of life. We will be called to explore some ideas in regards to financial discipline when it comes to the second quarter of the year. But all of this is leading us to a place of balance. I do see wishes coming true for a lot of people. I believe that this is the beginning of a lot of people experiencing some of the best changes that will happen for them in 2021. I believe they begin to come in around this second quarter of the year, really solidify in the third quarter, and will be fully emphasized in the fourth quarter. There may be some sort of festivities or wishes or things being celebrated for the collective and people's individual lives in the second quarter of the year. That's April, May, and June. What I'm seeing for the third quarter of the year is that there's very much an emphasis on life, on breath, on integration. This is when our love partnerships are really going to begin to come into focus for us and really heal. We are going to be called upon to work with the water element. This is growth. This is love. This is a very healing element that we are going to be called as a collective to work with in 2021. One of the months that is really going to be emphasized in this quarter will be July. I believe that a lot of love, partnerships, and massive healing is going to occur, particularly in the July month. I'm also seeing career being emphasized for a lot of people. This could be when the changes really start to come in. And like I said, there's this integration between our deepest desires and our subconscious desires. This is when I really begin to see an integration of our conscious desires and our subconscious desires. It's like they sort of meet in the middle come this July, August, September period. I do see a lot more calmness as we enter into the third period of the year. It seems that people are taking sort of a breath of fresh air or being able to breathe after a more conflicting and passionate period in the first 2 quarters of the year. As we enter into the fourth quarter of the year, companionship is still being highlighted. But it seems not only companionship in our love partnerships, but the way we are companions to one another in the human race, the way we relate to each other in the human race, and the way we relate to our environment, animals, plants, everything. Who we are as humans in this vast relationship of all the species of Earth. I'm seeing that there's a heavy emphasis in the last quarter of the year to really perceiving the joys of life as a child would. I'm seeing that there's a lot of serendipitous events and happy endings that are really being tied up at the end of this year. The archetype of child is being visited. Like I mentioned, this may just mean that we are discovering how to see life as a child again. And for some people, this will be more literal. I do see a lot of births happening at the end of this year, as well as pregnancies. There is definitely an emphasis on spiritual growth as well as financial growth. What may have been more discipline focused as far as finances go in the second quarter of the year begins to yield crop in the fourth quarter of the year. Like I said, a lot of the beginning of the year is going to be laying foundations and then seeing those foundations come to life and really support us by the end of this year. There's a lot of success at the end of this year. I think most of us will see a lot of really successful outcomes to our problems. And a lot of happy endings as well. It seems, generally speaking, this year for everybody is going to have a lot of things end. A lot of what we identify with, a lot of who we decided we were for so long is going to come to an end, and people are going to be collectively entering into a new phase of their lives. This is going to look different for everybody, obviously, but what I can see is that collectively we are leaving behind one identity and moving into a whole new identity. There is conflict this year. However, so much of it is accompanied by healing. What was mostly conflict in 2020 without resolution finds resolution in 2021 is what I'm seeing. There is a big emphasis of release and relaxation. Generally speaking, being able to catch our breath around the third quarter of the year or right around July. This lasts into 2021 and potentially 2022 as well. But with all of this passionate energy here for us, what it's really offering each of us as individuals is being able, like I said, to align with soulmates, soulmate situations, soulmates as people, soulmates as children, being aligned with our higher selves, and really leaving behind anything that no longer serves us. This could look like politics that no longer serve us. This could look like thoughts and the way we communicate no longer serving us, leaving all of that behind. And as well as people, jobs, homes, things like that. There is a big emphasis on communicating with other people this year. This could just be after a long year in 2020 of not really being able to communicate the way we desire to, now making up for that lost time and really beginning to get together as families, as friends, and really begin to repair relationships that weren't able to get the attention they needed in 2020. So much of us are going to be leaving behind the situations that don't serve us any longer. So many of us are really going to begin to build abundance in our lives, and not just temporary, but very long-term abundance. People are going to be getting back in touch with their childlike selves. A lot of happy endings are going to be coming through for us by the end of this year, and so many peaceful resolutions as well. Through our anger, through our conflict, we will find new ideas, new ways of being, and new ways of healing. But for 2021 collectively, we will experience new ways of being through massive change. I do believe that in 2021 there may be a high emphasis on finances, as far as global finances, how money works, things like taxes, things like inheritances, and generally speaking, experiencing abundance within our own individual lives. That's all I'm seeing for 2021 as far as the collective energy goes, so I hope that resonated, and I will see you guys in your reading. So now that we have our general forecast done with, we're going to be now looking at our individual personalized pick a cards for 2021. So of the 4 piles I have here, go ahead and tune in, see what pile is calling to you. You can go directly to your timestamp listed below, and we'll get started on your reading. What's up, pile 1? I have your cards here. Let's take a look at your 2021 year and the main messages coming through for you. What I have for you in 2021 is a very powerful manifestation of wishes and goals. And you did this, you will do this by harnessing universal energy. It seems that you've liberated something from its physical state, and it's now transforming into your new way of life, into what you are now going to be experiencing. What I can see is that 2021 for you will require a lot of self-trust. I think you've spent most of your life up to this point really learning that trait, really discovering what it is to follow your intuition, to keep going forward despite all odds being against you. You've really mastered this idea of self-trust, and it's really brought you through many obstacles in your life. I feel that you may have experienced for a large portion of your life leading up to now quite a bit of blockages, quite a bit of being knocked down and experiencing things that are difficult. But this is the end of that cycle for you. You're leaving that behind and you're completely renewing your emotions. I'm seeing that in 2021, you're gracefully shedding all of the things that just don't serve you anymore. You're letting go of a major part of your identity and you're turning into the newest version of yourself. This has been a transformation that's been happening for many years for you, but it really, really solidifies in 2021. You will look back at 2021 as the year that really changed everything in your life. I'm seeing that there's this emphasis on a male coming in for your life. It really seems that the two of you are solidifying your lives together in some way. Otherwise, what I'm seeing is that there's this massive change in your environment. This has to do with the way that you've laid foundations in your life when it comes to money, finances, health, the physicality of life. There is the emphasis of a fair man, somebody with fair features, light hair, light eyes. This is somebody who's going to be important for you in this environmental change, in this solidifying. This could be any sort of relationship. In a lot of ways, what I'm seeing is like a marriage sort of energy. I'm also seeing relationships with father figures being healed, as well as finding specific relationships with men that really help you bring a solid foundation into your life. You also, it seems, as far as your career goes, you really become the king of your career. This doesn't necessarily mean you'll reach career heights, but there's such a foundation of you taking control of your career again and of your finances again that's coming through. I'm also seeing the card child here. This is telling me that in some ways, you are really rediscovering what it is to see life through the eyes of your inner child again. Really looking at things in a joyous and positive perspective. I can also see in some situations this solidifying of a relationship with another male may result in a child. What I'm seeing is that in 2021, you're really going to be asked to explore the depths of who you are. You're really going to be asked to explore the depths of what you desire. I can see this in your career in some ways where maybe you're beginning a new journey and it's really going to require lots of angles of research or a lot of different approaches or really just putting your entire self and being into this project. When you go inward and when you really do this deep dive and this in-depth understanding of yourself, one of the gifts that you will get from that journey is the gift of self-trust, like we talked about already. So much of your year, I believe, is going to require you having a very still inner journey, going inward, and maybe not seeing a lot of fast action in the beginning of the year, at least the first part of your year, but rather just laying very solid foundations. The result of this solid foundation laying, though, is going to be one of abundance and very tangible changes that you will see come in by the end of the year. A lot of your year is going to require spiritual advancement. I do see certain patterns of Kundalini awakening showing up in this spread, as well as inner journeying, introspection, and being still as you view life from within yourself, and really seeking quiet moments through this massive transformation that's happening for you in 2021. While some of the beginning of your year may feel like it's not moving as quickly as you would like it to, what I can see is by the middle of the year, there's a massive shift, a massive transformation that occurs, and you end the year with so many different changes that are positive and solid, and changes that are really going to stay with you as you move throughout the rest of your life. Like I said, some of these changes will have to do with a male figure, and this male figure may be an earth sign. This is Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Or they could have heavy placements. Otherwise, the relationship between the two of you are going to be exploring ideas of home, life, physical health, finances, money, things of that sort, career. I'm also seeing that a spousal figure could begin to be making a lot of money as well. It's possible that you guys decide to build a new relationship with one another, redefine your commitment to one another, buy new homes. Something about your environment with one another is changing in a very big way. This does result in a new life together. One of the really significant months in your 2021 year is going to be the month of August. Something about a full moon in August is going to be significant for you in 2021. August will also herald a lot of changes, as well as the illumination of everything you've worked on for the first part of the year, shifting into sight by the end of the year. There is a lot of 4s in your spread telling me that this is a very foundation building year for you. In some ways it might feel limiting. It might feel like there are limitations or a lot of discipline that has to go into the year, a lot of non-movement. But what I'm seeing is that this does pay off for you as soon as the end of the year. Generally speaking though, 2021 is going to give you a lot of healing emotionally speaking. There's a lot of transformation in store for you, as well as abundance with this King of Pentacles present. I think that's all I'm seeing for pile 1 for their 2021 year. So I hope that the reading resonates with you, and I will see you in the next one. What's up, group 2? I've got your cards here for 2021. Let's look at your major messages for 2021. What I'm seeing is that 2021 brings you, group 2, a lot of healing when it comes to the mind, body, and soul, as well as your emotions. It seems that when you start 2021, there are some issues and problems that have yet to be resolved. There may be some sorrow over loss, or something about your inner self needs to be healed as you enter upon 2021. So much of this year for you is really going to be focused on going inward. I have this image of somebody who's just in a desert, kind of stripped of everything, so that they can get down to the bare bones of what exists inside them. Who you are, what you're lacking, where your pain is. I'm seeing that as you really explore through solitude, that you begin to unfold what it is and who it is that you truly are. I'm seeing that this solitude and this sort of starkness that I'm getting the feeling of actually is what leads you into very fertile ground, into this fertile soil that you will be able to plant beautiful things in as the years come. What I'm seeing is that a lot of your year, like I said, is going to be focused on solitude and on really giving yourself what you need in order to experience this healing that wants to come in for you. I'm seeing that you will discover the lessons of filling your own cup before you can fill the cup of others. I think part of what you will be exploring in 2021 has to do with boundaries that have been breached by others in past years, and how to redefine those boundaries so that you can maintain a very healthy sense of who you are and what you're able to offer other people without giving too much away. I'm seeing that in your year 2021, you're really going to be in touch with the mortality of life. Really get in touch with loss and sorrow, simply so that you can see life and spirit in the world from a new perspective and really heal parts of you that felt stagnant before. I'm seeing that there's this emphasis of a vision quest that's happening for you, Group 2, in 2021. It seems that you have this new perspective and that you really go within yourself into solitude and come out the other end with this whole new perspective on the world, on your life, on your soul, and your purpose. It's just this massive healing and rebalancing that's happening for you in 2021. It's really going to give you a new burst of creativity and creative energy that will begin to flow through you as we enter into the last part of the year. The crow here really tells me that so much of your year is going to be focused on expressing your authentic truth. There's something within you that needs to be said. Something about the throat chakra is really being highlighted for you, and really expressing who it is that you are so that the world knows. It seems that you go on this inner quest to discover what it is exactly that you're lacking, or who it is that you are at your very core. And then as we progress throughout the year, you begin to express that to other people so that there's no confusion about it. But there is an emphasis on the throat chakra for you at the end of this year. What I'm seeing is that your year starts with a little bit more solitude and being alone, really discovering who you are outside of the context of others. And then you see the world differently. After you see the world differently, what I'm seeing for you, Group 2, is that you really begin to develop connections with other people again. It seems that connectivity comes back into your life at the end of this year, and you really go from solitude into community. I think throughout this massive update, this spiritual update and understanding that you're having in 2021, it really results in so much growth for you. It results in you understanding the connection that exists between every individual, between the community, between everything and everyone that exists on earth. You begin to really see this web weave between everybody. And I really feel that you begin to attract spiritual partnerships in your life. This could be friendships, this could be work associates, this could be love. Whatever it is, you really begin to align in connection with other people and the things that you need in order to feel emotionally renewed again. It's like there's this really dry, dusty, like desert that you begin your year in, and then by the end of it, it's like this lush, beautiful, connected place that you've reached. And this all is because of your ability to really stand still in the silence, learn who you are, and express that to people so that there's no mistaking what it is that you really require from others and what it is that you're willing to give, and how to share your purpose with other people. If there are problems that you experience in 2021, you definitely emotionally heal those problems by the end of 2021. Whatever losses that you've had in 2020 now really begin to grow lush, fertile lands for you in 2021. It's really beautiful that you've been able to make so many changes happen for yourself simply by reflecting on who you are and what you need from others and what you're willing to give. But by the end of 2021, there's definitely this emphasis of you and others that's going to come into focus for you. And it's really going to be an alignment of spiritual partnership and soulmate energy that I'm feeling for you by the end of 2021. Your relationship with other people is really going to be emphasized for you. But I am seeing that with the 2s, you're really going to be experiencing how you relate to other people in solitude and in connection. In your 3s, what I'm seeing is that you're just divinely guided to creatively express yourself in a way that's true to who you are and your purpose. When it comes to the 4, what I'm seeing for you is really just being able to unfold and solidify into your life all of these changes that you've had in 2021 and how they will be your new norm or your new foundation in 2022. So that's all I'm seeing for group 2. I hope that the reading resonated with you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Group 3, I've got your cards here for your 2021 message. Let's look at the major messages coming through for you for 2021. So what 2021 is going to be bringing you, group 3, is the gift of self-belief and discovering your self-worth. This is going to be a major theme for you this year. What I'm seeing is there is an emphasis on dog. Now, this could result in you actually getting a dog or being able to connect with through companionship. This could be with a person or an animal. But basically, there's this idea coming through of protection and of companionship. What I'm seeing for you, group 3, is something about the beginning of your year really has to do with something that occurred in your childhood. I'm seeing that a lot of your lack of self-worth is stemming from experiences in your childhood. And this is something that you're really going to be exploring and discovering in 2021. I'm feeling that it's really important for you in 2021 to leave behind so much of the thoughts and the thought patterns that you had about yourself that really began in childhood, and I believe is connected to a mother figure. I am just getting the sense of really rediscovering your child self through stillness and seeing how that connection really interacts with your creativity or your lack of expression in creativity or your trouble expressing creativity today. I do feel that so much of discovering these childhood patterns may leave you in feeling like there's a lot of mystery as far as what these issues were or what happened, but there is this sense of darkness that has to do with rediscovering these broken pieces and these broken aspects and these troublesome things that started in your childhood. But what I am seeing is that when you really dive into these darker parts of the psyche, of the subconscious, that you really begin to transform all of these things and really heal them in a way that you've never experienced before. I'm seeing that a lot of this journey really requires of you to just be the witness, to really not be so hands-on and kind of be your own worst enemy or feel like you have to do, but really it's about focusing on stillness and just witnessing the patterns that come up for you over and over again. In witnessing these patterns, you really just begin to discover where you get in your own way, and how to just passively let the universe give you the gifts it wants to give you. Again, I really just feel that there's some feminine healing in this group, and it may be connected to a mother figure, or really just healing the receptive feminine energy within you. I'm seeing that by the middle of your year, though, what happens is that you really begin to discover this sense of self-worth that we talked about in the beginning of this spread. It's like you've reached this portal in time where all different directions converge into this one new perspective that you have on life. I really feel that you begin to see life differently, and you really become a truly autonomous and a truly independent person with a very solid foundation in who you are, and letting go of the troubles of your past that maybe were having a negative influence on you up until now. What I'm seeing for you by the end of the year is a lot of movement coming in. It seems that you were in a very still place in your life as the year begun, and you were really doing a lot of deep diving and understanding of the psyche, of the subconscious, of patterns. And then it's like at the end of the year, you're able to really make your mark on the world. It's this freedom of movement that happens again for you. I feel that you have more of a target in mind as you end the year. So what may have felt a little bit scattered or felt like you were in darkness at the beginning of the year in whatever this situation is, seems to really gain clarity for you by the end of the year, and you seem to know the way forward. And not only that, but you have this energy freed up where it's like your creative juices are flowing again. I'm feeling that by the end of your year, whatever was frozen really begins to melt and begins to warm up again. I do see action being taken at the end of your year. Whatever this situation is in regards to, I see that you begin to take action again in your life at the end of this year. And it comes from a place of just purity, of understanding yourself better, of understanding your life better, and also understanding other people in your life better. So much of your quietness and your reflection is now gifting you at the end of 2021 the ability to really go forward and to hunt what it is that you need for yourself, as well as, like I said, just make your mark on the world. I am seeing an emphasis on an older woman that's coming up for you. I actually have the card of older woman, but what I'm also seeing is the Queen of Swords. And this is telling me that there's somebody in your life who is a woman that's been through a lot. This could look like being a widow, being divorced, or just really having gone through life experiences that really toughened this person up. This could also be you. What I'm seeing is that if this older woman, and this may not be literal older, but more of like someone who, like I said, has just been through so much and has really a resilient personality or a really resilient way of being, this person is here to guide you. I feel that there's somebody who you either repair a relationship with, like a mother type figure, or a therapist that really helps you learn how to let love into your life again. I'm also seeing for some people that like I said, it's the healing of the feminine energy that's really coming in for you and warming up the really cold parts of your soul, of your psyche, and bringing in more love. There could be either a grandmother, a mother, a therapist, or your own self and your own aspect, female aspect, that is really just healed for you in 2021. Like I said, if this is another person, they do help you bring balance back into your life and heal the parts of your childhood that were really difficult for you to let go of and heal from. there is a lot of family patterns being emphasized in this spread. So what I'm seeing is that those are finally being healed for you in 2021. And I do get a sense of companionship that's coming from this pile for 2021. Like I said, this could be with an animal or another person, but there is this sense of healing and companionship and really letting go of old patterns that is very prevalent for this pile 3 in 2021. By the end of it, I feel that you're going to be really self-confident. You're going to feel like you had massive growth in your year and really just be able to feel warmth and creativity again in a way that maybe you haven't for a long time, and really begin to receive what it is that you need as far as your healing goes in 2021. So that's all I'm seeing for pile 3. I hope that the reading resonated with you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, group 4, I've got your cards out here. We're looking at your 2021 message. So let's get started and see what the major messages are coming through for you in 2021. So what I'm seeing for you in 2021 is a couple things. First, there's a lot of changes that will be happening for you, but what I do see is you manifesting money and income. I feel that you have really focused on some sort of business or home situation where you are really putting energy into growing something. And I feel that this is the year where you're really going to see a lot of return when it comes to those financial, physical, home-based projects. I'm seeing that a major message for you in 2021 is that you bring light to this world. There's a lot of imagery here that tells me that not only are you seeking light, but you also bring light to other people. And that's just like a really beautiful gift from your soul to other people. I see that so much of your 2021 is going to be focused in happiness and seeing the light and the joyous parts of life. I do get the idea that maybe there are some spiritual insights that you really get at the beginning of this year, or just new inspirations, new spiritual insight, new ideas as far as your passions go that really begin to motivate you when it comes to how you approach everything else in your life. I do see that alchemy is very important for you, and it's a vibration that you will be spending a lot of time in the year 2021. This tells me that you're turning one thing into something else. And it does feel that it's focused in your passions and in your spirituality. It seems to me that you really begin to know and protect yourself and your heart. I just see this imagery of someone embracing themselves a few times in this spread, which just tells me that you're really embracing your gifts that you have to share with the world. I do feel that there's a lot of protection for you that's available in 2021. This is just a lot of foundation building, a lot of protection. And what I'm really seeing for you is that during dark periods, you've really been able to shine your light and look for the light in situations that may feel like you don't really see the path in. It's just this idea that maybe at the beginning of your year, you really find yourself to sort of being like a thick forest, and as far as on a path that you can't really see the way. And it's really required you to follow your own intuition and to follow your own inner guidance and really be the light to really show you the path forward. I do feel that your career is somehow being highlighted for you in 2021. I feel that there's career success and promotions that are happening for you in 2021 because we do have the sun here, which often represents to me promotion in the work life, We also have the Queen of Pentacles here, who can definitely focus on her work life as well. And I'm also seeing teaching and learning. This is telling me that you are most likely very much a student and a teacher in 2021. Something about what you're doing, the way you bring light into the world, has to do with teaching others. And within all this teaching, you are a student by following your own inner guidance and by going within and really seeking seclusion in order to shine and generate light from within outward. I do get a sense that you might be a leader or find yourself in a leadership role in 2021. Otherwise, the foundations that you're laying and the different experiences that you have in 2021 are going to lend you leadership abilities later in your life. Your number for 2021 is 7. So you might really have a lot of spiritual insights in 2021 through seclusion and through being alone. But either way, you're definitely going to be having a lot of spiritual insight and learning so much about that aspect of life. There is a relationship with an older man that's being emphasized for you. This could be healing of an older relationship with an older man, or somebody who takes on a teacher role with you. And also, this older man could symbolize you really healing the divine masculine within yourself. Because like I said, there is a very light-focused energy in 2021 for you, light being the masculine energy. So it really just seems that whether this solidifies as an actual physical male or not, it really is going to be an emphasis on you healing your divine masculine and generating light from within for others to follow and for others to gain insight from. Your 2021 year definitely radiates warmth. It also brings you a lot of success and happiness. But I do really see an emphasis on following your own intuition when it comes to how to move forward on the path presenting itself in 2021. You might have to be your own light source in 2021, or really spend time in seclusion in order to alchemize and gain higher spiritual insights for yourself in knowing the journey forward. I'm also seeing the emphasis of dragonflies and moths for you. So I really feel that you're just connected to the elemental world in 2021. Not only does the 7 symbolize spiritual attainment, but it also can lend us to spending a lot of time in nature. So that could be a major part of your 2021, and a lot of the insights you gain by being out in nature, because like I said, I do have an image of somebody sort of going through a forest and really navigating their way through a forest based on their own inner guidance and intuition. I think that's all I'm seeing for pile 4, so I hope that the reading resonated with you, and I will see you guys in the next one.